Hi, my name is Lindsay Sewell, and today I will be talking about the biomechanics of a baseball swing. So first, let's talk about torque. So what is torque? Torque is the ability of a force to cause a rotation on a level. The equation for it is the moment of inertia of the bat or arm times the angular velocity of the bat or arm. So what does this mean? It can mean that torque is dependent on three different variables. So the amount of force applied, the angle of the application of that particular force, as well as the length of the moment arm. So we'll talk a little bit more about that. So let's apply torque to swinging a baseball bat. So the force of contact is related to a torque created by the motion of arms in the bat. So basically it's related to this moment arm here, and then the strength of this force is dependent on the distance of the contact point is from the axis of rotation, which is this. So to overall get a better torque, some people say to choke up on the bat, which yes, it does create increase bat velocity, but it decreases the moment arm, like we said here, which we ultimately want to have a longer moment arm. Objects that have a large rotational inertia have proportionately more of their mass farther away from their axis. So what does this mean? So this is our axis, so the farther away, the better the moment of inertia. So also the heavier the bat, the greater the bat speed, which is mainly true except when you pick up a bat and you can't pick it up, and you can't get that bat speed through, that's not a good thing. So you want to have the right proportion of a heavy bat to a bat that you can still create bat speed to. So next, how does energy apply to swinging a bat? You have potential energy and you have kinetic energy. So potential energy is the stored energy caused by its position. So in a baseball swing, you have the potential energy once the batter gets all the way back to swing, and then that potential energy turns into kinetic energy when it starts becoming in motion. So it changes from potential energy to kinetic energy as you're coming through and starting a motion. So work and power. Work, both negative and positive, must be done in order for there to be a movement of the baseball. So the key to hitting a baseball with power is staying connected to the body's rotational energy. So what does this mean? So all this energy that we have stored up of when we come back and load into our swing, all that energy is going to be stored up. So now we have to use all that energy and all those muscles that we have being used during this process. So in order to get more power, we ultimately have to use all those muscles. So this is basically saying the same thing. So it's kind of like a rubber band, the elastic part, where as you stretch back, the more energy or potential energy you're creating while you're loading up. So the same kind of concept as you load up, you want to take all that potential energy and use it all into the force and apply it to the baseball. So here it's kind of saying the same thing. As you load back, you want to take all that energy and drive it through. So energy and collisions. Something can do has energy if it can ultimately do work. So this applies to both the moving ball and the baseball bat itself. So as the bat smacks into the ball first has to come to a complete stop and then start moving again. So what does this mean? So if this is my bat and this is the ball, and they're both coming at the same time, they both have to change direction of the ball, so it stops for a split second. And so some of that potential energy and work done is lost during that compression of the bat and the ball. So where does that energy go? Well, some of it gets transferred from that bat onto the ball during that process. Some of it will slow the bat down as it hits the ball, and some brings the ball to a dead stop as it's being hit, and some of it is released as heat. So momentum, which can be described as a moving object in terms of speed, mass, and direction. So both the ball and the bat have momentum. So basically this is saying the faster the bat speed and the faster the speed of the pitch, the farther the ball will fly. But for this to happen, there has to be coordination and position to generate bat speed and direction. So what this is saying is, as you have a ball coming in, you have to have enough speed of the bat and the ball to make it go somewhere. That's why it's harder to hit a slower pitch out, or if you don't have a lot of power behind your bat speed, it's not going to go very far. And here are my references.